All right, so here we go. We're getting ready for our next match. We got Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Jake the Snake on the big screen here. I want to mention, there was another change here as well. We talked about JYD leaving. He was originally announced as a member of Jake Roberts' team. And, of course that's not going to happen. He leaves the company the month before. Initially, he was going to be replaced by B. Brian Blair, but then Blair winds up leaving the company in early November, reportedly after disagreeing with a plan for a proposed heel turn. So Scott Casey winds up replacing Brian Blair. I'm sure we're going to talk about Scott Casey here in a minute, but it does when you just run through the results. You're like, who, why, for what? Chat me up here. What happened with B. Brian Blair?
Blair just left. He was unhappy. And look, I don't know. I've heard that story about wanting to turn the Bees heel. I'd never heard that. And I didn't hear that at the time. I just heard that Brian was unhappy with the way they were being used and wanted more. And it was explained to Brian, here's your position in the company. And that's what we have for you right now. So maybe, turning heel might have been discussed at some point. From my vantage point, I'd never heard that. And Blair left. He chose to move on and try something else and left his partner, Jim Brunzell, there.
So if you didn't hear that he was leaving because he didn't like the heel turn, what was the reason you were given as to why he was leaving?
That he just didn't like what they were doing right now. And he felt they weren't doing enough. That was it. I mean, that he just wanted to do more, and that, I guess Vince or Pat told him that there isn't any more for you right now.
So Scott Casey,
Cowboy Scott Casey.
why?
At this point, I think that they got to a point where they had all these guys that had left, and it was all pretty much all around the same time. And so Vince got in one of those moods of, if you don't want to be here and you want to leave, go take your release, go. I don't want unhappy people around me. And that was probably some of the contributing factors to Blair, JYD, Morocco, and a lot of those guys said, you know what? They're not doing anything with me. I want to move on. Let's move on. Timing wise, when you get stuck, you got to use what you got. Scott Casey was there. Terry Taylor's in a damn Survivor Series match. That's how bad it was.
Well, I mean, Terry would tell you he was over here.
Sure he would.
You don't think Terry would say he was over?
I think that the only time that Terry's been over in his career is when he was with the WWF as the Red Rooster. So yeah, he was over more here than he ever was anywhere else.
Well, and you're saying that to sort of shit on him, but the reality
I'm really not.
It's what people still talk about. It's what people still talk about.
No. And see, that's where in no way was I saying that to shit on him. I was saying that to point out a fact that this was probably the most over he ever was in his career. And that's just a fact. Snakes and American flags. Holy cow.
Did you ever think you would wind up selling inflatable snakes when you first got in the wrestling business? People are selling pictures and posters and programs, and eventually they started selling t-shirts and hats. Fast forward. Goddamn, pal. Can we get some inflatable snakes? Let's put them around kids. Can we get the kids to buy snakes? How do we get kids? Let's sell them ice cream too.
Yeah, exactly. Now you can see with this one, you see the glow around Coco Beware, that blue Ultimate glow and the glow Randy's. It
feels like they're right out of the movie Last Dragon, and they've got the glow. Show enough.
Ooh. And Frankie's ready to fly like the Birdman.
Jimmy Hart. And then my phone rang. It was Opportunity. And then it was Hulkster on the other end. And then the next day my phone rang. And wouldn't you know it? It was like a magic phone. It was Hercules Hernandez. And then about a few days after that, my phone rang. It was Coco Beware. It was more opportunity. And then my phone rang. Well, what was up with his Hall of Fame speech? Is that the worst Hall of Fame speech in the history of Hall of Fame speeches?
No, but it was one of the longest. That's for damn sure. If I ever heard one.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. You take a look at the python, it's 24 inches.
And I don't know what the fuck.
And he's got the Hercules Hernandez chain around his neck. Interesting look for the Hulkster.
Absolutely. The tannest man in the world. But it's not just, it's a perfect tan. That's what pisses me off.
How much do you think Hogan was spending in disposable razors at this point?
A lot. And he had the one with the shoehorn, the long shoehorn, and the razor tape to that so that he could get his back and get the hard to reach places. And he tried lasering later on, but he said that just took too long. So it's easier just to shave.
I know that's a silly thing, but we never really talk about it. But I mean, this guy's 6'4" or taller at the time, over 300 pounds. And he's got to not only be tan and shiny, but he's got to be essentially hairless. That's gotta take a lot of time.
Yeah. Yes. He was a metrosexual long before there were metrosexuals.
I'm pretty sure, I'm not saying this to be funny, he would have to spend more time tanning and shaving and oiling than he would actually in the match.
And training.
Oh, I'm not talking about, of course that. I'm just saying.
But see, that's part of his training to him.
Sure.
All that stuff.
So the shaving is part of training?
Yeah, it is. Make sure you see your muscles the right way. There he is, folks. Cowboy Scott Casey coming to the ring. San Antonio and Austin, Texas finest. Followed by Ho!
Meanwhile, Hacksaw's like, nope, not shaving, not tanning. Got this big flag and this board. Good to go. Hey, we've never really talked about it, but it's not like, I would assume you guys are carrying that flag for him on the trucks, right?
Yes.
And the 2x4, it's on the trucks, or are y'all just going to a Home Depot in every town?
No, usually he would just scurry around the building and try and find a 2x4 until they started carrying them.
He would just hope there was one laying around back.
Yes. Yes. For the longest time. And I'm serious. The longest time he would just go around buildings and look for a 2x4.
That actually sounds more entertaining than his matches.
Ho!
What the fuck are y'all doing to him?